In this lesson, we're going to solve multi-step equations. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve an equation and we're going to justify every step. So looking at number 1, our equation is going to be 6x minus 8 minus 2x equals negative 16. So this first step is our given. This is the given equation. So we're going to do a few more steps than we normally would do on an equation like this, just because the properties do exist and they are there. Sometimes we mix them up in our head and we don't always write them down. So in order to begin solving this equation, the first thing I have to do is get this 6x and negative 2x. These two terms here have to be in the same spot, kind of close together. So to do that, I'm going to take and I'm going to move the negative 2x and the negative 8. Now, again, this is a step that we probably wouldn't do when we're solving this. We would just say, well, 6x minus 2x is 4x. But when we are justifying our steps, we have to actually include that property, because what we've done is we've used the commutative property of addition. And this property allows us to get those numbers together so that we can combine them. So now we can say that 6x minus 2x is 4x. Minus 8 equals negative 16. And what we've just done there is we've combined our like terms. Okay, so now it's just our two-step equation. So now we're going to add 8 to both sides, which we are allowed to do due to the addition property of equality. And that's going to leave us with 4x equals negative 8. So now what we just did to get that 4x equals negative 8 is we added these, which is another combine like terms. So anytime we're adding or subtracting, that's combining like terms. Then we're going to divide both sides by 4, which is our division property of equality, and giving us x equals negative 2. And to get that answer, we simply simplified. So x equals negative 2 is our answer. Okay, and so we've justified every single step in here. Now we did skip, one or two steps where we didn't use the identity properties, but for the most part, we use these other steps. All right, so let's look at number 2. We're going to have 4 equals 3 times the quantity 2x minus 10. So again, we're going to justify each step. So this first step is our given. Okay. So if you were going to solve this equation, probably the first thing you would do is distribute this 3 to the 2x and the 10. So that's what we're going to do. 4 equals 3 times 2x is 6x, not 5x, 6x. And then 3 times 10 is negative 30. And the property we just used to do that is the distributive property. So that would be our justification. So distributive property. Okay, so now the next step would be to just simply add 30 to both sides. So that's going to give us 34 equals 6x. So adding, we are using the addition property of equality. Then, because we added those, we actually just combined our like terms. And the next step we would do is we would actually divide both sides by 6. So we're allowed to do that due to the division property of equality. So 34 divided by 6, this does reduce down, so that's going to be 17 thirds. And we would leave this as 17 thirds because we don't need to write this as a mixed number. You can, but you don't have to. We definitely would not write it as a decimal. Okay, we cannot write this, that is not exact. So we're going to leave it as 17 thirds. And what we just did there is we simplified. Now remember, anytime we are justifying our properties, we always have to put x on the left side. That is standard form for us. So the property that lets us do that is the symmetry property of equality. So x equals 17 thirds is our final answer.